Your cup, living life with F&D. We won't give up. Spill your coffee, hey, that's okay. We'll laugh it off and seize the day. Sip happens, but we're alright. With Sarah's mug, we'll win the fight. Science stories, laughs and fun. Morning chats for everyone. So take a sip, don't spill the brew. Join the chat, it's made for you.
Hey everyone. I don't know what happened to my last stream earlier, but yeah. What a day. What a day. I didn't even put any makeup on. I sweated off. I don't know. Sorry this is late stream. It's morning somewhere in the world. So I can't get this to heal and I don't want to put makeup on. Be glad that you're not a girl out there if you're that have to wear makeup. Some of you wear makeup to do streams too, so I hope some people can join me for a really late morning. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I haven't even taken my bag off. Oh, I was going to show you guys my bag. Without trying to show my ID. This is my bag that I carry everywhere. This is my F&D bag. Got this on Temu. Perfect size, perfect everything. Then I got one of these service dog patches. So I guess I can technically call it a service dog. I don't use much of these things much. Probably my watch that has like blood pressure, whatchamacallit. I use the glucose, although my glucose meter was dead the last time I used it. I have salt in here. I have PC hard candy in here, earbuds, hand brace, just in case my hand gets all rigid, ankle brace, my paper that explains on two sides of the paper what to do, protocols, allergies, medications that I'm currently on. Probably need to update that and print it out again. And plus it's getting crumply. Should probably laminate it. Then what else do I have in here? Cell phone cord, charger, little stick thing, just in case I'm out and about. Obviously girl stuff in front pocket, money for bus. I've thought of everything. This is like my Harry Potter bag of F&D. And I want to create these for you out there that have F&D. If you could send me, they're located on my wish lists on Amazon. If you would like to make these, let me know. You can make them and give them out to whoever. I don't care. Whatever. If you have epilepsy, diabetes, it's, it's a good bag. And I was actually impressed at the quality Temu bags came in. I kept it red because, emergency bag, carry it everywhere. I hope this is streaming because my last stream, for whatever reason, I wasted 20 minutes talking about transportation, which we will get back into next week. I'm a little ticked that it didn't record and go on the interwebs, but yeah. Anyways, carry this. Do it, make it. If you want me to make them, don't bombard me with, but just, that, and then carrying a walker. Should we talk about transportation? I want to. I should, since it didn't go through. Anyways, that's my bag that I carry. Makeup is in there, girly stuff, whatever. Alrighty. Let me since we have new people, you'll watch this later. Maybe I should I don't know. I'll do this and then probably redo it next week because I'm a hot mess. Anyways. Yeah, I'll redo it next week, but it's good practice. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sarah. I live with FND, and you're probably saying, what in the world is FND? What does that mean? Let me go back here. And of course, things close on me. Hang on. I guess I did close it on the other one. I'm Sarah, and I have a rare and severely complex, apparently, form of PTSD. That is the best way to describe this after all that I've gone through. And it can present itself to the person different ways. Some can have seizures. Some can have panic attacks. Some can have, different things going on. And we'll list all the things that I think I've dealt with. The shit list of FND. With comorbidities, it's called Functional Neurological Disorder. This condition affects the brain and the body. So I am thinking somehow, I think it stems because I feel like this twitchy thing happen when it starts to happen, and then I kind of torque my body to that side and get all rigid, and my neck kind of does this twitchy thingy, kind of get this strokey. I don't know how to describe it, but I think that's where it stems from. And then my hips and knees feel like they're going to give out. Like I'm going to fall. And it's a strange aura feeling. And what makes it harder is I am conscious and aware. Just because I'm conscious and aware, it does not mean, yeah, it could be a pseudo seizure, it could be a real seizure, whatever. It is a real thing that people experience. So don't be the person out there, pseudo seizures are real. I consider them classified as neurology. I think they need to take away the pseudo. They need to take away the non-epileptic. Just take away the P or the psychogenic seizures. They need to take away the P. It's non-epileptic. There might not be spikes on the thing, but you can clearly feel the PTSD, like when they flash the lights in front of your face, at various degrees. I feel like I'm getting attacked, so I think it's PTSD. There are kind of different waves and on the AAG, so it is neurology. I don't understand why neurology and psychiatric need to, split in different for us and make it very difficult for us. I don't know. Anyways, that's my rant on that. According to the University of Alabama, Birmingham, impacts 300,000 to 500,000-ish Americans, and was previously known as conversion disorder, which is an outdated medical term. And this medical term leads into a lot of abuse, gaslighting, neglect, just malpractice. Sorry, got all discombobulated there. There is no cure. This has been the hardest thing I've endured, and there's no medication really, unless you are you have seizures that, if you have a tumor and it's causing, seizures. I don't know. It's just, even seizure medication can cause, mental health issues, in my opinion. And then the fact that now they're using the psychiatric department is using seizure medications for other things, like seizure medications for mood disorders. Which, anyways, my symptoms that I've experienced are extreme, off the chart chronic pain. My pain used to be 3, 4, being a medical massage therapist, working out, whatever. It has decreased now that I've, tapered off some medications and take them as needed. Like muscle relaxers, which actually increase your pain. So I experience about 6 and 7 pain level, and don't tell me that, I honestly should be using the McGill. If you have CRPS or any chronic pain, you should use the McGill and figure out what your pain level. Don't go the extreme. But I experience sensory, vision, often slur my speech, mimic strokes. And when I say mimic, it's not fake. I can't fake this stuff. Or Bell's palsy, stroking, tardive dyskinesia. I can say that now. Pseudo Parkinsonisms, like tremors, like Parkinson's, anxiety attacks, panic attacks. Those are my big ones, especially when I'm feeling it coming on and I start getting, I'll get kind of panicky and I'll feel my face twitchy. And then complete complex PTSD, shaking, spasms, tremors, twitchy, dissociative, which thank God that has gotten quite a bit better now that I've tapered slowly, and I mean slowly, like counting the beans and tapering off a medication that I was hypersensitive to, very, very much allergic to. And that medication was causing dissociative issues. So temperature sensitivities. So I can't be out in the hot weather as much as I love this weather right now. Auras, which can be like colors. Auras can also be kind of things that kind of hop out at you. And then like when I was on Adderall when I was about 10 years old and until about 15 years old, I was actually having partial complex seizures at that time, I think. And I would smell burnt rubber and have kind of this floater disease, But that actually got better shortly, a little bit after I graduated from high school. Yeah, maybe that could have been first or one of the indicators that this was going to come along. And when they say your body keeps score, I definitely think it does. Anywho, I can have grand mal type seizures where I just drop non-epileptic seizures. That can be also known as, like I said, pseudo seizures or psychogenic seizures. Limb rigidness, that's where you get the tightness. And I can talk about that later. Balance, walking issues, fall risk, syncope, blackouts, you name it. I've seen it. The problem is that I've noticed that most healthcare professionals, EMTs, fire, police, insurance companies are so unaware of FND. If they do recognize or claim they recognize it, they often do look it up on Google. And they have often found the outdated term conversion disorder and misinterpret it as purely psychological in your head, behavioral, attention seeking, or even drug seeking. And then when they get me, they get kind of confused because I'm like, I don't want any drugs. I want, I'm hypersensitive to drugs. This I've noticed in the FND community, this misconception has led to quack care. Okay, we're gonna call it quack care. Give that a thumbs up. Inadequate. See, now I can't say it. That's okay. You know me if you've been on my stream for a while. Mistreatment, medical neglect, and even malpractice, making it harder for those with FND to receive proper support in the medical community. I don't know about you, whoever, if you have a disability, it's been kind of crazy. I believe as a healthcare myself, and all that I've endured with this goddamn stupid disorder, FND. I find this FND is genuinely neurological. I won't totally rule out the mental health condition for me, only because I've faced trauma, abuse, neglect, malpractice while occurring this disorder from healthcare professionals. I think this stems from however, the healthcare system failure to recognize this has resulted in harm and consequences, neglect, abuse, and deep mistrust in healthcare professionals. The greater awareness and the education are critical to enduring. Let me double check here what I wrote. To patients that are enduring this, I think that's what I'm receiving the utmost respect, understanding, treatment they deserve. A common and harmful example is using seizure protocols like a sternum massage, which for me, they don't work. Telling me to breathe, relax, don't touch me. I know now how to just let it go. I am aware, and I know that I'm conscious. Now if I'm like vomiting, my eyes are in the back of my head, maybe I'm not there. I can't talk during the episode. Sometimes I can't wiggle anything because I'm so paralyzed. But I'm there. I'm there, and I'm fighting it. But I have to focus on that relaxation. I think it just hypes me more and more up when okay, I feel like I'm getting attacked when you do the sternum massage. That's just me. Anyways, instead of helping, those actions make my episodes worse. They can often prolong or even trigger new ones. Even, episodes later down the line, because I remember those traumatic, episodes. So during an episode, I might be confused, but I'm fully conscious and aware. I'm there. I'm already focusing on allowing myself to do whatever it needs to do. It's a very weird sensation to have your body reboot, to be honest. Like, you can't do anything. You can't talk. You can't. And then you have people touching you and or stripping your clothes off, in the hospital. And it's like, no, don't do that. Don't. It just makes it worse. Just let me do. I'll get out of here. My episodes do not require medical attention. Medications, unless I've sustained a serious injury, then yeah, call 911. If I'm unresponsive, call my emergency contact before, seeking unnecessary hospitalization. Because I don't like hospitals anymore. Anyways, all I need is compassion. Most people with epilepsy just need compassion, get through it. If it prolongs, and more happen throughout the day, obviously, seek medical attention. Positive, quiet energy, lights, sound can be eliminated. Don't make a scene. Don't let I hate going to the hospital and then everybody's, I saw it. Maybe get some ice cubes, especially if it's hot. Let me just do my thing. I know what to do. I will let you know when it's time, to get help, But good lordy, transportation has been shitty. And that's what I was trying to say earlier today. I cannot drive due to my condition. I rely on public transportation. Local city bus. They have little access bus. Uber and Lyft. If you would like to send me Uber and Lyft, gift cards, I would love for you to, and that's what I was trying to say in the other video. Please. I don't care about the coffee. I don't care about anything. I just want my independence. Okay? Autonomy. I want to get out of the house. I want to get out of my room. I know my roommate and the cat probably, yell at me in their heads all the time. The best and safest option for me is ultimately Uber and Lyft, followed by city bus access. Transportation through insurance is atrocious. Now they offer rides to get groceries, curb to curb, pick up. And yeah, I know that you're probably saying, I'll just do the, delivery. But like I said, I need my independence. I need to get out of the house. I don't want to burden. I don't want people, my support to hop, skip, and jump, because I need to go to the grocery or, I need to figure that out on my own. And I'm not saying that you're burdening me, blah, 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 blah. I need to live my life independently, autonomy, whatever. And that is why I live here, so I can do that. Most cities, like my town, have public transportations that are not fully engineered for accessibilities. Many stops are too far to walk, lack proper seating or shelters or ramps, making it very difficult for individuals with mobility challenges. Buttons, like I think there was they had a handicap accessibility sticker on their door at Burger King, but there's no button, and like the door weighs a bazillion tons, especially when you have mobility and you're dealing with a walker and you're trying to maneuver. Yeah. And I have talked to actually the employee who was supposed to give the message to the manager, who was too busy to listen to my complaint on that. But anyways, big cities, city buses is physically and mentally exhausting because I have to plan how many buses is it gonna get, how long do I have to walk? Is there a place to sit? Can I sit in the grass? Can I sit on that? It's, and I know some of my family members that are, or support, you don't have to go through that and you can call me, but I don't want to do that. I want my independence, and you're being too hard on yourself. No, it shouldn't really be this hard, to be honest. It shouldn't be a second thought, and I'll fight this, in all my days, because it shouldn't be like this. Causes severe anxiety due to unpredictability, the distance, the lack of seating, high physical demands. So I call it little bus, or access is an improvement, but still has major limitations. Like they require 48 hours in advance, and for cancellations, making it difficult to plan for unpredictable, like medical, like I want to apply for jobs, I have to schedule with them, and then, then you call and you do the phone interview, and they say, can you meet at this time? There's no flexibility. And then you have to call back, and then they're like, well, we can't, I lost a job opportunity over 30 minutes, because I scheduled, an interview, and then I called the bus and they were like, well, we can't take you. And they need to know what time, So, and they only operate let's say 5 to 7 to, 5 p.m., restricting my ability to work late, attend appointments, handle last minute needs, going to a social networking, going to the restaurant with a friend, meeting up with a friend or whatever. My friend could, pick me up, but like I said, I need my independence. And then, they have a strict cancellation policy too, penalizing me for unavoidable health related and whatever. So cancellations, which puts me at future risk of if I do secure employment, these restrictions could create, challenges too. And ultimately, they need to keep the buses, maybe, utilize them more in the university part of town, but use more vans, accessible vans more, would be my thing, because when I couldn't use the steps very well. I almost didn't qualify because I couldn't use the steps very well up and down, because they're like the short buses. And then the lift, the driver has to flip out the wheelchair ramp, the lift, and that would trigger me in a sensory. I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna have an episode. And then they would lift you up on the wheelchair ramp, and that would cause me to have, like this vertigo. So then that puts me in a risk. And two, they're not really trained, which they should be trained in seizure protocols like that. Just like an extra specialized training. Like, they know kind of what your issues are, but they have to call 911 anyways, but whatever. I would rather them, oh, hang on, Sarah, like stop the bus for, 5 minutes. I know that delays everybody else. Most of the time, I'm the only one on there. And hold on for 5 minutes. If, I don't stop, after that 5-minute, episode, then obviously call 911. And then go from there. So, yeah. Anyways, where was I? If I do these, just put challenges on, employment if I wanted to. And it's like, oh, you're disabled, you don't need to work. Or it's so stigmatized. Oh, you don't need to work, or you need your mommy to hold your hand. Or, it's like, no, I can do stuff. So limiting. And then you get the other aspect, you're not working hard enough, to go in all sorts of directions, beliefs and stuff. So, especially if I needed to stay late or travel to another location unexpectedly, a more flexible, accessible transportation solution is essential for maintaining independence and stability. These access drivers, like I said, do know our problems, but they should be certified, is what I'm saying, but are not trained to assist drivers or riders with severe and unpredictable problems like mine, nor do they have the time, which is understandable, that may result in calling the emergency and leading to unnecessary trips to the ER. Other paratransits, I did call, and I should go call again and just see what they say and maybe make a recording of those conversations. Just, I'll bleep any information out of that, but they told me that they wouldn't accept me because I'm considered a liability or risk fall, according to their insurance. Uber and Lyft just gives me the flexibility, independence, autonomy needed to avoid unnecessary stress, hospitalizations. Like I said, Cash App, Venmo me, or even GoFundMe would help me with this critical transportation cost. SSI, DI, whatever, that doesn't pay much. They were only going to give me barely enough last year when I finally got it to pay rent. But there's the kicker. They were originally going to give me $70 for food stamps. But since I collect SSDI or whatever it's called, they bumped it up. So, but it only lasts probably 1 to 2 weeks, depending on. And I'm frugal. I've listed the cheapest food, most calories, whatever. But yeah, I could deduct some things off. But I'm still finding it's not really healthy eating. And then, like, I barely had any food left. And I am so thankful for having a roommate. She was like, "This is your birthday present. Happy birthday," basically. So she got my favorite meal and kind of gone from there. So I appreciate you, roommate. I love Ella more. Anywho. I use a generic walker, and I desperately need an upgrade mobility device. I need a mobility aid that meets the essential requirements. Lightweight, compact, because I am fun size. So I need a fun size, easy transport, storage. This I've kind of lost my strength with massage, unfortunately, in 2 years. 20 years in 2 years. Automatic brake when I stop, because most rollators, and people don't understand, most rollators are dangerous. And have the manual brakes. I use the walker to break my fall when I'm about to have an episode. If there's no chair, I know how to fall, and I have only seconds to do that, and prevent that injury during an episode. So if I have 4 wheels, I'm going straight into whatever and falling on my face. And I think that's what happened back in July. Fell on my face. And I think I also have that anxiety that I'm going to fall on my face. Maybe I need to practice falling with somebody. A seat function to conserve my energy, allow somebody to transport me after an episode. Manual wheelchair mode to help me exercise my arms. If the battery is dead, rollator has just little wheels. Or the option to convert it if I wanted to. Electric wheelchair capability for times when I need to conserve in public. I don't have to have assistance or experience I don't know what I wrote there, but anyways, it doesn't matter. Just having a versatile, adaptive mobility aid is crucial for maintaining independence, to be honest. Managing my condition effectively, So unfortunately, I was denied rehab. When I first did rehab, the next step was to go in a 30-day program at a skilled nursing and continue, rehabbing. But unfortunately, I lost my apartment in the process. Little did we know that conversion disorder was preventing that because it was outdated. And so that's why we were probably getting rejected. Plus, I lost my apartment. So they didn't know what to do with me, and they didn't want to load me on all these mobility. And it took me a year and a half to find out that they should have given me, walker, wheelchair, cane, bath seat, everything. They should have given me that inpatient at that time. Even at the second rehab, because I had to restart all over after I lost all mobility. And then my my primary care physician had no clue. And we went that route, and the medical device store called me and was like, well, you have, let's say, now I have 3 more years. It's like a 5-year wait to get any new equipment or upgrade or whatever through insurance. Cool. More hoops and hurdles for disability. And it shouldn't be this way. It should be like, okay, 90 days max for anything. That's it. Um, so I should have received them before leaving rehab. Outpatient does not offer help with this much from what she said, but we know Squid will definitely help me, and she has tried and then got sick, and then 3D life goes on. She tried though, but I'll have to review that and then kind of go from there. As you can tell, my life got busy too, and I've been sick as well, and so the devices that I've looked at are like 700 and something. I think that's like the lowest with the gadgets and gizmos and plenty, whatever I'm trying to say. The electric, and then I think it was a electric rollator. I think that's my best bet. Was 700. That was the lowest I could find. But I know Squid will find me, a device that has that. I really think electric is the best bet. So if I'm out in public, I want to socialize, ride the bus, go to, a function, let's say downtown this weekend, and I just want to stroll around. There's like a community thing downtown that I would like to go to. It's second to last one of this year, and I haven't gone, so I really want to go and have ice cream with the Lions Club. So anywho, as I was saying, even simple tasks like laundry is exhausting because it involves bending down and moving stuff to another building, loading it in, checking on it, coming back, and then it's hot, or it's cold, whatever. Snow that you have to track in. Luckily, one of my friends found me a cart that me and my roommate can kind of share and do laundry, which is great. But my apartment actually has hookups for washer and dryer. That would be a miracle and it doesn't need, it needs to be, somewhat. I know somebody that would clean it out and fix it if it needed to be fixed. But washer and dryer hookup, yeah, we probably would have to pay some electric. I don't know. But that would be great. And I even heard in the hallway, they used to have washer and dryer, but then they moved it into the other building. Clothes going through snow, over steps, cross parking lots. It's a process, so it's taxing. I think it's more taxing now than when I was doing massage laundry. 7, 8, 9, 10 loads per week. That's a lot of laundry. And I hate doing laundry. I really do. Sorry if I'm not watching chat. And ranting. I'm exhausted, frustrated, sometimes lonely. I'm sorry to my family, friends. I feel like a burden on you guys when I ask for, a favor. I put every effort to push through. Try to, push and push and push, but you can only push so much. But it puts a severe cost to my health. The medical trauma I've endured from EMTs injuring my shoulder during an episode, and then being falsely accused of faking symptoms, it just makes things worse. And I'm not going to shut up about it because this shit shouldn't ever happen with people all walks of life. Doesn't matter if you have a disability or not. It shouldn't have ever happened. I put in here, this was a long time ago. I think this was written back when I got out of the hospital or was in the hospital. I am doing better. I think doing YouTube and building a community, with you guys has helped me the most. Medications out the door. Then doing mental health therapy, which I just felt like I was suppressing it still. Still keeping it a secret, I don't think that did me any justice. I just felt like suppressing it, just made it just worse and worse and worse. Now I'm still sleeping 10, like the other night I think I fell asleep about 2 a.m. after MG Law's stream. And then I didn't get up until 4:30 in the afternoon. That's a lot of sleep. But I think it's a B12 deficiency issue. And it's been a B12 deficiency issue all along. Or deficient in something or another, which can mimic, health issues, mental health issues. I'm going to fight this. Like I said, I am your advocate, whether you need me personally or professionally, I'm here for you. If you suffer from epilepsy, FND, PTSD, you name it, mental health, whatever. I think this gave me a new, slow down, take it easy, help people, If you consider donating, visiting, offering a ride, sometimes I just need to get out of the house, out of my room. I know my roommate's going to be like rolling her eyes. Like, it's hard because I have my room, art in my room, watch TV, sleep. Although it has helped that I have my bed on the floor. I'm kind of doing this. I need to work my quads and all my muscles now, being a medical massage therapist. So working my fat butt. So I think that helps. Because then how many times am I going to get in bed? Am I going to get in and out of bed twice, or are we going to do this all day long? Anywho. Anyways, and then I just also need to desensitize myself to daily challenges. Anyways, I really thank you for listening to me again about this. There are some other stories, things that have happened while I was in the hospitals. Feel free to listen to some of those. And if you hear your name in, my, vlogs, give it a thumbs up. I think about you guys, and I appreciate, you just being there, chatting. I try to make, at least, an effort to call out, somebody that I haven't seen for a while, or just, give you some love, I think we all need a little bit, big or small, love in this world. And I'm happy to give that to you. And it's not to make anybody jealous. We're all, get over yourself. If you're not part of my community, if you're gonna get jealous, or we got a lot to give in this world. And if you are struggling with FND or any type of disability, things do get better. I promise. I know you listen to my rants and all that jazz. So sorry it stresses you out. If it does, triggers you, I don't mean it. And this is my story. And I'm on a mission to just make it better. And if you can help me make it better, awesome. If you're not able to, that's okay. We're in this together. You do you, and I do me, and whatever works. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like buttons, share with your family, share with our governor in Indiana, state representative, This shit just shouldn't happen, and we need to make it better. And so I will see you on the next one. I'm kind of dying here. Not literally, but I love you. Share that love, okay? Bring peace to the world. Love you guys. All right, here we go. Oops. Up.
Well,